Let us pray. Father in heaven, we once again thank you for blessing us to come together. We thank you for giving us wisdom and knowledge to take care of the business facility Jackson and his residents. We thank you, Heavenly Father, once again for blessing us to be a part of the 250 years of our country. We thank you for our health and strength and closing our right mind. Bless us in the name of Jesus. We ask and pray, Lord. Amen. Amen. Join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome, City of Jacksonville City Council meeting for July 2nd. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deeds.
Here.
Roquefort.
Here.
McCleary.
Here.
McCoy.
Present.
Ray.
Here.
LeBron.
Here.
Moss.
Here.
Twitty.
Here.
Kinman.
Here.
Mims.
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
All present, sir.
All right, thank you very much. We have everybody here. We are good to go. Before you, you have your minutes from our June 4th meeting. Please be familiarizing yourself with those for presentation and approval next time. But right now, entertain a motion to accept and approve our minutes from May 21st. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the acceptance of those minutes, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? All right. You've got your consent agenda.
So move the
Sec-
consent agenda in its entirety.
All right, we have a motion to accept the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and question? Okay, we have a question on the consent agenda.
Under the Finance Department, just a quick question, just for clarity's sake, on the reserve fund balance, sorry, yes, Laura's here. There is zero, is this our operating expenses in the event something happens and we are covered for a few months? What's that one, or is that somewhere else?
No, that's not going to be in there at all.
Okay, is it somewhere else listed? Item?
In your financials?
Mhm.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'll follow up for that
Okay.
information. Thank
Okay.
you.
But, I mean, the last time we talked, we had, what, 115 days of reserves?
114 days.
No, it won't come out. It's only on an annual report that hasn't been produced yet, but once the budget was done, we looked at it. But anyway, yeah, if you want more
It's
information later, we
increased
can provide it.
from-
Perfect, thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
From 88 to over 100 right now, so. All right, we have a motion and a second for accepting of the consent agenda. All in favor of accepting that report as presented, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? All right. Moving into our general business. First thing tonight, would like to do a special presentation. So Susan, if you would.
Excuse me.
Thank you. On June 2nd, we splashed up our community water park here in town. We had an incident that all aquatic places never want to have, but it actually occurred and took place at ours, and we had 3 employees who rose up and acted quickly, bravely, and in a very timely manner to actually save the life of a 9-year-old boy that was there and who had basically sank to the bottom of the deep end and was laying on the deep end. 3 of our people jumped into action in 3 different ways. And so tonight, because of their actions, this boy is still with us, and this family did not lose one of their sons. So in recognition of that heroic action, I would like to ask these 3 to come forward. Isabel Martinez, if you would come forward. Isabel played a key role in the events of what happened. So we have for you a plaque, and I'm going to read this. All 3 of these say the same thing, but I'll let you all see hear what it says. Life-Saving Award presented to Isabel Martinez, lifeguard at Jacksonville Splash Zone. In grateful recognition of your courage, vigilance, and swift action, on June 16, 2026, that saved the life of a child. Your professionalism and dedication to the safety of others exemplify the highest standards of public service and reflect a great credit upon yourself and Jacksonville Parks and Recreation. So, here? Yes. Come on up here. This is Cooper Page. Cooper also played a role in the life saving that day. So Cooper, once again, thank you very much for what you did in your role that day. And then finally, Jalen Smith. Jalen, come forward. Jalen's actually the manager at Splash Zone, who also had a direct hand in this that evening, that afternoon. So, Jalen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I will share this to give a little more context on part of it. Isabel, who was the first one who came up, she has only been, at that point in time, a lifeguard with us, or a trained lifeguard, period, for 1 month. So that is trial by fire, even though it was water. And she stepped up in the moment and did what she was supposed to do. But I also take this time to brag on our aquatics department, or between Splash Zone, between the pool next door and the training that Kevin and Madison have our people doing all the time. This happened, Kevin, what day of the week was it? Tuesday. That Saturday previously, they had training specifically for this type of event. So the ongoing training that they're constantly doing saved a life, and so we're thrilled with that. But wanted to let you all know and brag on them for a little bit. Thank you very much for that. Now we will move into our regular business. First item on the agenda you have is ordinance 1918. This has been asked to be pushed. They were not ready to go forward with this tonight, so if nobody has any heartburn over that, this will.
Mr. Mayor, is it 1818?
1818, sorry. I do not have.
My glasses are in front of your computer.
Thank you. Now I can read. So, yes, ordinance 1818. So, if there is no objection to that, we'll remove that from the agenda at this point, and that'll be addressed at a later time. So next on the agenda then is ordinance 1819, adopting the AI policy for the city.
Move that we place ordinance 1819 on the first reading.
All right, we have a motion. Second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1819, an ordinance adopting an artificial intelligence policy for the city of Jacksonville in compliance with Act 848 of 2025 and for other purposes.
Any questions or discussion about this? If not, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1819 on first reading and suspend the rules in place on second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1819 on second reading and suspend the rules in place on third and final reading. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman.
Aye.
Mims.
Aye.
Okay, then entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1819 on this date. Motion.
Second.
And second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Aye.
All right, that is passed. Thank you very much. Next item of business is ordinance 1820, adopting ordinance number 1738, codified as chapter 8.06 of Jacksonville Municipal Code for vacant buildings.
1820 on first reading.
Oh, 1 second, please. And this is Councilmember Rupel bringing this forward.
Yes, sir.
All right, there is a motion to place ordinance 1820 on first reading. Is there a second? Motion and second, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
Cleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty. Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1820, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1738, codified as chapter 8.06 of the Jacksonville Municipal Code to regulate the use of vacant commercial structures for storage purposes, establish additional definitions, property maintenance standard, registration requirements, commercial corridor restrictions, public nuisance provisions, and enforcement authority, and for other purposes.
Okay, discussion.
Yes, thank you, Council. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to invite Mr. Birch to come and let's have a discussion on this, possibly some questions. I know there's a lot that's in this ordinance, and I think it's just a great time for us to come together as council, as we should, and talk about it. I know I've got several phone calls today. I know other council members have gotten calls, so I think it's a great time for us to ask questions. Mr. Birch and I worked on this together with City Attorney Friedman, and so a great time to do this now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Are there questions that y'all have specific towards this? Or do you want Mr. Birch just to give a synopsis or overall?
I have some questions, but I think they're going to, did you need to go?
Sorry, I was just
Go ahead.
going to say the only difference that has changed from 1738, which you guys already approved for residential, it's just the commercial. Some of the definitions changed and some requirements. So that may hopefully clear up some confusion.
Yeah. Thank you. No, you're good. I think some of this may go to Adam, or you may be able to answer it, Madam Clerk, but going in and looking through, one of the things that sticks out first is the what we're asking of the Board of Adjustment. That's a quasi-judicial board, and the conditional use falls under Planning Commission. So I'm a little confused about that part of it. Can we get some clarity, Adam, on that, please?
I'm not familiar with this.
At all, like far as what the Board of Adjustment does? Madam Clerk, do you mind speaking to that?
As it relates to this ordinance.
Yeah, I'm confused. Can you speak to that, Susan?
The Board of Adjustment is not the authority to approve a conditional use of any kind. The Board of Adjustment's proper name is the Board of Zoning Adjustment. If it's not already defined in the city's zoning ordinance, either the residential or the commercial, then it cannot be varianced by the Board of Adjustment.
And this is being pointed out is in the original.
Correct.
The original
Statute.
document.
Right, we've got some other amendments that in the previous ordinance need to come back before council when we revisit this ordinance.
Okay. Well, let me ask this then. Go ahead, Councilman Cleary.
Do the Board of Adjustment pass into the planning commission?
No, they apply directly to the planning commission for a conditional use permit. A conditional use permit is strictly for the use of another zone use in a current zone use. If you have a C2 business and you are a C2 zone and you want to do a C3 business, you would apply to
There is
the
issues with
planning
the way the
commission
term
for
Board
a
of Adjustment
conditional
is
use
used in our
permit,
code. Yeah,
which
we
would be
don't have
granted
that.
to the person operating that business for the length of time that it exists, and it is non-transferable. It has nothing to do with storage. That would not be something that they would have any guidelines on how to variance.
What about our nuisance board?
I'm not familiar with what the nuisance board
Is
does.
our nuisance board active?
It's a when needed. It's not an ongoing, it's a call.
I will say, in general relation, there is references in the code to a Board of Adjustments. There are some cities do have boards of adjustments that are meant to resolve certain things. As Susan pointed out, our board is a board of zoning adjustments. There is code references in our municipal code book to a board of adjustments that I would not consider it falls underneath our board of zoning adjustments. It's something we've looked at from time to time that like that does not fit. I can't speak to specifics of that, but I know we've crossed that before. I have no idea how it relates to this specifically, but I.
Specifically, I could speak to it, and I
Yeah.
agree with you wholeheartedly.
Okay.
We have pushed some things to the Board of Adjustment that do not belong there.
Yeah.
That being a quasi judicial board, we need to be very careful
Right.
with those kind of activities.
Yeah. Generally speaking, the Board of Zoning Adjustments really can act on things that are quantifiable in the code, that give specific distances or areas or sometimes a use a little bit, but that's generally what we think about with the Board of Zoning Adjustments, and they would come with a specific hardship to rule on a judicial matter of sorts. That gets a little gray, and we've had issues with boards before not being very uncomfortable with some stuff that's got pushed to them. And I'm sorry, wasn't prepared to speak to specific instances. I could probably go back and find some, but.
So
yeah,
it's an overall issue in all of our code.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not related, and like I said, I have no idea how that question even relates to this, but I know just in general, there's some citations in our code that's like,
Don't belong there.
that don't belong there.
Thank you, Adam.
And
Sure.
the Board of Adjustment
Isn't that
is
what you got,
supposed to be
Gordon,
predicated
that's
on
our-
hardships.
Yeah.
There's supposed
Well,
to be a hardship.
He
for
reviewed
why
the
you
zoning
can't
code
meet
specifically.
the requirements of that zoning district.
And he basically
Thank you,
said,
ma'am.
You need to start over.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Our next question, on page 46, where it talks about the corridor, is when did the council designate it? It said council may designate additional commercial corridors or modify existing corridor boundaries, and how was that established? How did we decide what was the corridor?
So my role in this was I just made the suggestions for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggested the corridors of Main Street, John Hardin, Marshall Road, T.P. White.
Why not 161? Why not North First Street?
Why not adopted by ordinance?
Why not, we haven't adopted it by ordinance, but
Again,
just
I just made a suggestion. You are the council, you can put that in there.
Okay. So since we don't have it, it probably isn't valid at this time then, correct? Since it's not
What?
currently an ordinance. We don't have an ordinance for it.
It's
But thank
it's
you for
amending
it.
an existing ordinance. I don't know what show you're trying to put on, but it's not an issue. Out of order. Out of order.
Sir.
I apologize, but it's the way you're addressing me of trying to say it's not valid. It is an amendment to an ordinance. The only thing that I did was make suggestions. If you're addressing that to me, I'm not the person to ask.
These are just questions, and you stood there, so the question is whomever is standing there.
Okay.
It's not directed to you as a person, it's just a question.
Okay, but I answered your
So
question.
thank you.
I may be able to answer this. So I did take the list that Robert had given me. And so essentially the way I saw it was approving this ordinance would approve those as a commercial corridor, but then you also have the ability to add or take off the list by subsequent ordinance, if that makes sense.
So council needs to discuss what we want that corridor to be in.
Exactly.
Because it's
And
in
from-
here as
from a
if it already
record-keeping
exists.
standpoint, I do believe we need a separate ordinance to formally adopt a commercial corridor.
I would like to hear from Tanner, if I could.
Again, I invited Mr. Birch to come speak. He worked diligently on this, and, you know, going into this, he made the suggestion on the commercial corridors. Madam Clerk says, you know, if that's what the will of the council is to do, then we can do that via separate ordinance. Again, we approved this on first reading just to have discussion. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna encourage the council tonight to table this anyway, but I want this time to be used for good discussion while Mr. Birch is here. Everyone is present today on the council, and again, just a great time to have discussion, to ask Mr. Birch questions. So that's what we're here for.
So the reasoning behind beginning this was the writing that I go with, have been doing with code. And as we went through building after building after building, you walk into it, and this is specifically targeted towards glass-fronted buildings that people can see in, and there is junk and trash in a large number of buildings. You can go through almost everything in the Main Street Mall that's vacant, full of trash. You can go into the old skating rink. You look in there, it's filled up with junk. From my point of where trying to sell things for businesses to come here they see that, they turn and walk away. So, however we need to make this work is we need to do something to hold these businesses accountable. And if this was a start to get the conversation started, that's fine. That was the intent of it. That's when Tanner and I started talking about it. And, you know, there's not an emergency on this. It doesn't need to be done today or tomorrow or next meeting. It is to get the conversation started. And what I'm telling you from the position that I work through is it is a very big turnoff the way that our main street looks of so many empty buildings. Some of our frontage down the interstate, so many empty buildings that have trash piled up in them and that are just basically left vacant to sit. And if we want to grow as a city, we need to, I don't want to say put pressure on them, but hold them accountable for having upkeep on their buildings so that our city looks good.
And I think having a discussion about it is a good thing, right? That we're
Exactly.
starting here to ask and answer those questions while we are here. So the next question. On page 49, we talking about registration fees, and I know that was prior to, but I'm curious about what fund is that money going to be put into? Does anybody have that answer right now, where we're gonna be putting that fund? And we're collecting the registration fee? She may not,
Yeah, and that has not been discussed.
we haven't discussed that yet.
Well,
Where has it been going since this isn't new?
2023, it's been in effect, so we should have some example.
Yeah, do we have anything?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Thank you, so that's something we'll need to look into.
And that's been registration off residential, correct? Because the commercial has not been put in place.
I think it addressed commercial as
Well,
well.
no, I'm talking from what has been from 23 to now, is what I was saying. That was just registration.
It was addressed, it was
Okay.
addressed in 2023.
Okay.
And before we go any further, I want to apologize for my comments. I want to make sure that's stated.
All right, so as we look under violation and penalties, what is a reasonable opportunity? Because we have time prescribed in the immediate next section, and before that, we have the reasonable opportunity. So do we have something that's a little bit more clear, more concise on that, on a reasonable
That-
opportunity?
That would probably go more to Stephanie is for the verbiage.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was off. I can amend that to, I believe it's currently 10 days. Chief, do you know?
Chief.
No. I can move
Adding
that to a
over.
more definitive
10 days?
number, yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Was it
No,
30?
I thought it was 30.
Whenever a notice of violation is submitted to someone, they give, I wanted to say it's 10, is it 10
10
days,
days.
Chief?
That is
10 days to
correct.
correct the issue, and if they haven't fixed it after that 10 days.
But they give 3 days to make.
Thank you, sir.
Mailbox rule.
Then after that, then they get the citation.
All right.
And I did take out, speaking of planning commission, I believe the last ordinance said that they could appeal this decision to the planning commission, or was it Board of Adjustment? Do you remember?
The Board of Adjustment, administrative decisions are not appealable. to the
Yeah,
Board
so
of
I
Adjustment.
changed that just for Jacksonville District Court, which was
Right.
where it would go if they get a citation.
All right. Thank you.
I have a few things I'd like to bring up just for information. I think we need to sit down and redo the thing. It's all in good, but there's a lot of things to me that are left kind of open. I mean, on page 46 on actively for sale or lease. And so my issue is you're gonna try to make somebody sell property, but they have to sell it and have it listed within 25% of what the value is. By who? Who's gonna decide that? And he said the county tax records, they're only wrong in my book 50% of the time. So let's be honest. I'm a realtor, and county tax records, I love them to be wrong when they're in my favor. My property's worth $190,000 and it's worth $380,000, but you can't go by that. The only way you can get a true value for property and most of y'all should know this, is that you have to have an appraiser or someone certified to do that. And just because the appraiser, I can get an appraisal done on a piece of property, and I can get 3 different appraisers and get 3 different values. So I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff in here that we need to really tweak and make it right.
Mhm.
That was in the previous ordinance that we approved by council.
Huh?
That was in the
That was a previous.
2023 ordinance.
Probably needs to be discussed then, because we can't, it needs to, yeah.
It seems like the previous ordinance needs to be changed as well.
This is the amendment.
Council already had approved that. If
Yeah.
there was an issue, we should have brought it up then, but.
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Well, the situation is, we had talked, and Adam, you brought this up, it's been 1.5 years, that we're gonna rewrite all these rules and get them regulated. That's been 1.5 years. I haven't seen any of that where we've had that specialist that was gonna rewrite all the rules and regulations, so we can combine them all together, and it's on record. Yeah, we talked about redoing them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't a rewrite.
Well, I'm just asking, but I thought we were gonna sit down and recertify.
For this type of.
No, it's been sent, he's went through the entire zoning code, and there was an email sent out to all planning commission members.
Right.
I've heard critics, I've not heard anything in response to that.
This ordinance doesn't have anything actually to do with zoning per
Right.
se.
Right.
That's why it would not apply to Adam's person.
No, I just asked if we had talked about having them revised, because there's some of them on there that's back from 1975. That, I can bring some up, and, it says you can have multi-houses on your lot, back then. And that's what we were talking about, is instead of having 6 that address each thing, to get them where we get them all registered, where they're all in the same, where we can know what we're dealing with. But, a lot of these, I like the idea of a lot of it, but, active vacant commercial structures, I know there's somebody sitting in here that has one, and it's prime location, but it's only vacant, but he does maintain it and pays the city permits. And, I don't know what else you can regulate him to do. He's not gonna sell it probably. And now if somebody offers him enough money, he'll probably sell it. But at this point, he's probably not. But I think there's a whole lot of things in here that we need to sit down and go over and see, where we go from here.
Mr. Chair, from what I'm hearing from council members, is that this ordinance is not ready to be passed at all and needs some revisions.
Correct.
Right.
So.
And I agree.
Is it the will of the council that we table this since the revision's there? Because at this point in time, there are a lot of things here that need to be revisited.
Yeah, and
I
that's.
do have some
I'm
questions from
speaking on
citizens that need to be answered.
Tanner, if I put the wrong words in your mouth, please correct me. That is what Councilmember Rupel was asking and wanting us to postpone this and to be able to look at it. Make some
But this is
changes.
the opportunity, this is where we actually discuss to get our questions answered so that we are clear moving forward,
We
correct?
need to get any questions
Yeah,
answered
we
now.
need to do
so
that now.
hopefully when it comes back, everything's clean, clear, concise, and we're not spending time going back and forth all over the place. And so, that's what we're here for, so.
Thank you.
Correct.
I did encourage any council member, whatever questions we have, let's get them asked while we have city attorney, Mr. Birch here.
And
I would ask the commercial corridor, could we go back to that to make sure that I get everything in a separate ordinance?
He's got the ones listed that he's interested in.
On page 46.
Right, but I think Councilman McCoy listed some others that.
yeah, asking about
Yes,
161.
161 is also a corridor for Jacksonville as well as North First Street.
That's good.
And with this, as far as order and procedure goes, because of where we are now with the discussion on it, there does not have to be another motion made or anything going forward with this. If you're wanting to discuss at a further time, work on this, have other eyes on it, that's fine. Nothing has to be done because we have not placed it on the next reading. So this is at the natural pause point for this to move forward with more investigation and more work being done on it.
I'm not.
Get a few
I
questions.
think the council still has some more questions, so.
Yeah, I'm not
Keep
ending it,
going.
I'm just letting you know, because somebody, I guess Councilmember Twitty was asking if Councilman Rubel is gonna make a motion. I'm just saying he does not have to at this point in time. So,
All right, I had tons of questions from citizens, so I'm just wanting to get their questions answered. Another question, hopefully someone can answer for them, is why did they change from October 15th to the October the 30 days, and who is going to keep up with that?
The October 15th was because that was when the new ordinance was initially enacted, so we wanted to give people time to register. But that's already been in place. This one I can still add October 15th for the vacant commercial structures, if necessary, but that was the original reasoning for that.
Okay, wasn't for property taxes being due or anything like that? That's just trying to keep it in?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And who is going to keep up with the previous, with this and previous property that has been sold? So how do we make sure it wasn't sold over the 25%? Who's tracking that?
well, I think part of it will be that, I think that whole 25% is gonna be
That needs
looked
to be
at.
covered.
That's gonna be,
Not even certain
yeah.
it's Constitution.
I don't think that it is.
It's not
Yeah,
Constitution.
so, yeah, that part's safely say is going to go away.
All right. And why does residents have 5 months and commercial only have 30 days? Is there something to that part?
That would be
Yep.
you. I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Because of the speed of the if you allow commercial 5 months, that building's just going to sit and sit and sit. So there's a happy medium in there somewhere, but we've got to make a move in some suggestion, and so anywhere between those two times, it's completely up to you guys. But if you let commercial sit, and this is just from experience of doing this for 8 years, it's going to continue to sit, and it's going to continue to get worse, and it's going to continue to pile up. So, the request for this is to have the vacant property that we have kept and maintained, and the commercial property that basically has open windows that can be seen, to not be filled up with junk, because nobody's going to want to come by and lease that facility and, help our economy grow, help our city grow, and help us look like, we care about things. It's not saying every single vacant building that's an office building that has all the doors closed has to do every bit of this stuff. It is basically keeping our commercial corridor, which the definition of a commercial corridor is different than just a corridor. Most people would define it basically in a city like ours, in Cabot and Benton and Bryant, as the interstate area. But ours branches Main Street this way. You're correct in First Street. And so I put those on there as an reasoning, but I'm all for cleaning up every place that we can. So however you want to spread it, do it that way. But if you're speaking of what should be a commercial corridor of the city, you're talking John Hardin, T.P. White, Main Street, Marshall, First are the areas that get traveled the most for retail commercialism and things like that. You've got, obviously not included is the industrial park, because that's a totally different animal. A lot of what's down 161 is a lot of, or not a lot, but is some industrial sites. Again, they need to be kept clean as well, but it's focused on more of a retail aspect. Like I said, you look at the Main Street Shopping Center, you look at, I'm using those two buildings because they're the most visible ones, but there's a lot of other ones that I could bring up that have open face windows that could be great spots. And I've had developers ask me about spots, and they come and see the building and the area, and they're just like, nah, I'm good. So I would like our inventory of space to look as good as it possibly can. And I think everybody from our meeting that we had at Mount Pisgah the other night, in the meeting we had here, the 2 economic development meetings, everybody was in agreement on that position. And those are citizens of this city.
Are there other questions?
One more from another citizen. The city may, rather than shall, allows for abuse behind the scenes. The 30-day without active use does not take into account Guard Reserve members who are deployed. Who is the city going to certify to evaluate property?
I'll do it.
I don't want to speak on behalf of code, but I think that
something we can take back.
And when you have extenuating circumstances like going in the military, which, you know, I have a son that's going in a month. I've had some businesses here that have had people that have taken off. Of course, you're going to make concessions, but that's about communication. And, you know, if there is an instance where somebody gets deployed and they don't have time, obviously, as the same as I've watched residents come in here, appeal to the council, commercial business should be able to have the same thing if an issue comes up, and that is at the discretion of the council. I think that's fair. That's what we do for residents right now, I believe. So you can take into account some of those special situations the same way we do with residential right now. That's just, again, that's just a suggestion.
Thank you for that. Next to last question, I do have a question that came up under exemptions on page 49. Why are the buildings owned by another government entity? Why are they the exception to maintaining their property?
I only got the ordinance, was it yesterday or today? No, Monday. I don't even know what today is. This week's been so crazy. And I haven't read every single section of it. Could you repeat that one again?
Well, I can address. Bottom line, they're not. I know we have one building right now that we are actively trying to figure out how to address it and take care of it because of where it is and because of two other attached buildings are owned separate owners. So the city and two other individuals own was basically a commercial version of a triplex. And
Is that the one brought up this morning?
Yeah. If we were to bring down our portion, then we're going to have the owners of the other two agree because theirs is going to have to come down too. And so that's just something that we're having to wrestle through right now. If it were a standalone building that was just ours, then yes, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But this situation,
Yeah, I don't think we should be held to the same standard. So I don't think any
So that'll
city
come
building
out.
should not. Yeah.
Well, I would say procedurally, if code enforcement issues a citation, I guess it would be to the mayor. I would be the one going to court to prosecute that, but I typically would also represent the city, if that makes sense. So it gets a little wonky there. Yeah.
it's one of those where we as a city do the right thing and police ourselves on that and make sure it's done.
All right. And this is, it's probably your language, madam. Injunctive relief?
Right, basically, that's a kind of a catch-all.
Okay.
To either get any fees or if we have to, there's like a condemnation, basically just to recoup expenses.
And what about the remedy, any other remedy available under Arkansas law or Jacksonville Municipal Code? Do we know what those, do we have any of those listed?
Again, that's the
Just a
catch-all.
catch-all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Other questions or conversation, discussion?
I do have one, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Birch, thank you for apologizing to Councilmember McCoy. I would hope that going forward, that as you or others address the council, that there's a mode of respect that is due to each council member. I
Agreed.
think we exude that, and I think we are due that, and we exude that back.
I agree.
All right, having sensed the will of the council in this regard, at this point in time, we will table this for further work, further discussion, because we have had it, we've just had the reading of it, so it has not even been placed on first reading. So any continuation on this, it will resume at this point of post-discussion to be put on first reading and then moving forward accordingly from that point on. So, all right, with that, you're welcome. We move forward to ordinance 1821, amending ordinance 1817 regarding condemnation of 200 Overland Trail. Entertain a motion to place ordinance 1821 on first reading. We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron. Moss.
Aye.
Twitty. Kinman. Mims.
Ordinance number 1821, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1817 regarding the condemnation of the structure and real property located at 200 Overland Trail, Jacksonville, Arkansas, for structural defects, deficiencies, and public hazard conditions, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Any further discussion on this property? I can say Code Supervisor Barger is not with us tonight. She is enjoying a vacation. But she did let us know that all the conditions, everything that was discussed at our previous meeting have been met. She is in favor. The property is actually under contract and being sold, and the purchaser of the property has already begun work.
And the email detailing that has been provided to all the council members.
With that saying, do we need to go through all this?
Yes, we still have to pass this ordinance amending the previous, because this was a home that was placed on the condemnation list. Am I correct in that? Okay.
It's a
Make-
housekeeping measure.
Yeah. Yes, this is all this does.
Make a motion, we approve ordinance 1821.
On first reading and suspend the rules in place on second. Is there a second?
Second.
Multiple seconds. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1821 on second reading and suspend the rules in place on third and final. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1821 on this date. Roll call.
I need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion, is there a motion?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Then finally, entertain a motion to attach the emergency clause. With motion.
Second.
And second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Nay.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
All right, thank you very much. That takes care of the agenda items. Is there any new or old business, first of all, coming from council? All right, yeah, I've got that. That was one asking if y'all had anything else, so.
I think
Mr.
we
Mayor.
do need.
Yes,
Let's say before we close, let's maybe have Kevin just speak about our festivities going on outdoor.
No,
before.
we're not about to close.
Huh?
We're not about to close yet.
yeah, we're not
I
closing.
said before, I didn't know we were going to do before or after.
Kevin,
that.
hold on, if you
All right.
would. We have had two people that had signed up to speak this evening. First of all, let me go, is this Penny Fogel? Yes, ma'am. What, or you were wanting, you've got code enforcement, was this in regard to the ordinance that we just tabled?
If it includes the profit at Stanfield and Military Road, which I did not hear it mentioned.
Okay, so this, you said this was in regard to,
Property located at Military Road and Stanfield.
okay.
Residential, mostly.
Yeah, that's residential. You're talking residential home, I mean, so was this in regards to the ordinance that we just discussed a while ago, or was this a totally separate matter?
This is a totally separate matter.
Okay, all right. Let me, yeah, we'll go ahead. You can come forward, you can come to the mic, please, at the table, and state your name and your address, please.
First of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Penny Fogel. I'm at 634 Stevenson here in Jacksonville. And in reference to the property I'm referring to, the house has literally caved in on itself. I've been calling, asking Why was it permitted to get to that stage, and what has been done about it? Nothing has been done about it. I want to know what is going to be done and when with this going to take place. This is an eyesore in my neighborhood.
And what, do you have the address of the property?
Look, the house have completely caved in on itself. I do not know the number. It's at the intersection of Stanfield and Military Road.
Is that Stanfield?
Military.
Chief, are you familiar? Our
Chief, are
code
you familiar with
enforcement
that?
officer is out right now.
Yeah, I just got back from a conference, but, and now Marissa's gone, but I'm pretty sure she mentioned that to me last week. And I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I think she told me it's being torn down.
Is being
And
torn
isn't,
down?
yes, isn't, I can't remember the name of the guy that used to live there. I don't know if it's on a list yet. It might be on a list or it's going to be added. And asking what they had going on and tell me what's coming up. I remember her mentioning that corner. And I used to know the people that live there. I can't think of their name right now. I'm pretty sure that one, I don't think it was about mowing either. That house that she's talking about either been placed on the list or it's going to be in the near future. But it's on the radar, I can tell you that.
This house has completely fallen to the ground.
Do you have, I'll get the address from it. Do we have the address, Ms. Fogel?
There's,
Okay, we'll get it. We'll get it.
Our code officer is out of town, and
Yeah.
is there any way that we could give her the code officer's phone number for next week, or so she could call and then she could ask?
I've been calling, I've
Have you
been
talked with
asking,
Marissa?
and I was told that there was information that was there was private, and they could not give it to me since I was the public. And I told her, I got a little hot beside her, and I told her, if this was a different kind of resident, which was not middle class, lower class minority, this would have never been permitted to happen. This house been deteriorating since January. I drive by it every time I leave out of my community, and it was started falling down. And she told me they have been moving it. I asked her, what did they move? Because nothing has been moved on that house.
With our code officer, Marissa?
I don't know who I spoke to.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's over in my ward. I'll get your information after this, and then I'll talk to Marissa when she gets back, and we'll go from there. And I'll let you know.
We'll get you an answer, for sure.
Thank you.
I can look it up tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, well, I'll give it to Mr. LeBron and Mr. LeBron, and you all, I'll see you at the next meeting. We can iron this out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember McCoy, you wanted?
Yes, before we get to the ministers, in light of all the things that have happened in our city, I think council needs to think about if we want to restrict a curfew for a while. That's something that some citizens have mentioned to me, if that's something that we can do. I know Little Rock had to enforce that, had to do that when things started happening. We just don't want things to get further out of hand. That's been one of the things that many have reached out and asked that I bring to the council. So I just wanted to allow us to discuss, mention that, or Stephanie, you can share with us if that's something we can look at. Juvenile curfew.
We already have it in place.
We have a curfew, but pushing it back. It's currently 10.
Oh, you mean pushing it
just a temporary,
from like 10 to 9
yes.
or so. Okay.
That's what, yeah, we currently have one in place, but that's to just add restrictions there for a period. And that's something that we need to look into doing and trying to get done pretty soon, since we're in the heart of the summer. Current is 10 through the week and midnight on the weekends. 11 on the weekend. 11 on Sunday night. And through the week, midnight. So we want to push that back to 9. Little Rock's 9:30. We want to do 9:30.
Chief, could you tell us your thoughts on that?
It's going to be hard to
Is it doable?
We can't enforce it, but we can still have it.
So we just had my staff meeting, we did discuss that. The problem, like Little Rock did that, they did, I think it's temporary, but they did change the ordinance. And a lot of these cities are doing that in response to the teen takeovers, where they're groups of teams communicate on social media, they meet, take over a place, commit a bunch of violence and destruction and vandalism, stuff like that. That's not the things we're having here right now. It could happen, but we're not having that yet. A lot of the stuff we're seeing right now, it's small, it's a small group of people, a couple of groups fighting with each other, and the kids we're seeing are kind of right on the border of juvenile and adults. They're right at 17 to 20 years old. And the problems that my officers tell me, if their kids out or breaking a curfew, they're not, 30 minutes isn't going to matter. They're going to break it anyways. And what we're seeing with the kids that are breaking the curfew, it's car break-ins, stuff like that at night. They're out, do it when they shouldn't be out. And so they're going to break it anyway. I would do that in response to the teen takeover type things to try and squash that. So that gives us authority to do something. Now, the officers do like it when they see kids out in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're having car break-ins, and there's nothing else that you can do with them. You can take them into custody and take them up, call a parent. I would want to do that if we start having the teen takeovers that other big cities are seeing, and that would give us some power to do something about it with them then. Other than that, I don't think it'd be a big help right now.
Chief, what's the actual protocol for if a juvenile is out past curfew? Do officers take them back home or take
No,
them to the
well,
home?
they can. There's a form we fill out where the parent has to sign, and generally we take them out to the police department if we can get the parent to come up there and get them. Sometimes you can't. A lot of times they won't. We try to find a responsible family member. We try a parent. If we can't, we'll get an aunt or uncle. If we have to, we'll take them to the house, have the parent sign the form there. First time's a warning. Second time's a letter to the parent. And then, I don't know if Stephanie ever tries any of these in court, but.
Are your officers picking up several individuals in the middle of the night? Or?
Not a lot, but there are a few. Not a lot.
It can grow though, right?
To make an arrest for disorderly conduct or battery, it's a misdemeanor, so the officer does have to witness the actual fighting. Yeah. If they're responding to a large group like we had on Cherry the other day, and responding lights a siren, it'll break it up before they get there, so they won't actually usually see the fight. Sometimes they do. Usually it's broke up before they get there. And we just disperse them, try to get them move on and break it up. The fight, it's like the teen takeovers. Fighting's kind of a big thing that's come back, and a lot of girls, a lot of guys, teenagers, we're seeing that type of behavior a lot.
What's the current number of curfew violations?
I do not know.
We can get that.
And is this happening, is most of this happening in specific wards?
What, curfew?
No, the violence.
Yeah, we have patrol districts, I would say 3-2 and 3-6, maybe on the edge of 3-5. So, the shootings we've had recently, we had a big fight on Cherry Street. We had a shooting at 161 in front of Lamplighter, Jacksonville Heat and Air. And then the recent one on Westwood, Spruce. That's we call that 3-2 district, but it's possible. Yeah. We're working on that right now. Mm-hmm.
Chief, thank you to you and your staff.
Mm-hmm.
For working.
You do.
Tireless. Thank you.
Thank you
for everything y'all do.
Also, this evening, we have a couple representatives of local ministerial alliance. Pastor Miller, Pastor Helms, if y'all would come forward, please.
There are several members of the Ministerial Alliance. Y'all.
Yeah, if you were a part of the Ministerial Alliance.
Pastoral Alliance.
Pastoral Alliance.
Glad to have you with us.
No, Baker. One woman.
Pastor Miller, go.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for listening to us and allowing us to bring this to you today. I'm Eddie Miller, and I'm the pastor of New Commandment Church, located at 703 South James Street here in Jacksonville. And this is
Pastor Helms, and I've been pastoring here in Jacksonville for about 30 years. And so being part of this Pastoral Alliance, really today, after all what you all have spoken, I think what we have to do is what we're going to talk about next.
Okay. We are here because we're concerned. We're really concerned about what's happening in our city. And it's time for us to stop talking about it and do about it. To be about change, and it's going to take all of us to do this. We can't, no one person has all the answers, but together we can have solutions and plans to attack what's happening in this city. And we all have to be concerned because if it's not at your door today,
it'll be there tomorrow. I
guarantee you it's going to get to your door. So this concerns all of us, and all of us need to come together and work together so we can change the atmosphere in Jacksonville and make this a place people would want to be a part of. And right now, we have some things we're going to bring before you that you can listen to, and we want your input. We want to join together so we can all do this together. No one can do this alone. And we see things getting worse. They're not getting better, they're getting worse. And we have to admit that, see that, and let's get busy and do something. I will let Pastor Helms talk about some of the things that we have been working on. We met the 29th, and we talked about this is what we need to do. We got to start somewhere. And we're getting ready to start doing some things, but we need your help and your support with us.
Well, I almost said amen. Today, I think, okay, I've been here. I came here through the military about 1988, and so I'm actually from somewhere else, but I've only ever lived in Jacksonville since that time. I love Jacksonville, and so we began a church here. I think it was in 96 or so. Like I said, 33 years here. So I don't plan on going anywhere, and I want to see our community grow, because right now we're kind of standing still, or in some ways going back. And I've always, and I know this because of my own upbringing, poverty is a good indicator of crime. Where you've got poverty, you're gonna have crime. And so when she talked about some of the neighborhoods where there's more crime, where there's less crime, one of the things I looked at this, and I'm gonna just throw this in there, out of 241 police, 241 cities, and they looked at their police force, Jacksonville rates like in the middle. And there were some things that really stood out to me. I never thought about it before, but this was one that I think that's probably, if we can deal with this, then we can stop some of this stuff in its inception. Racial disparity is a thing that 92%, now this is AI, and it could be somewhat incorrect, but there are some things that we definitely need to get more training in. This generation is not going to accept just anything. And so I believe in the generations, I believe that we should have leadership for the generations, because everything rises and falls on leadership. And if we're going to change the outcome of these children, we're going to have to do something different. What we've been doing in the past will not work. And you're not going to be able to tell them to sit down and shut up. That will not work. And so some of the things that we have going on, when I was growing up, my mother was disciplined, the way that we disciplined in that season, in that time, was a little different. Now, you got a lot of people a lot of single mothers, and one of the biggest problems is the curse of fatherlessness. 70% of the people in prison today, fatherlessness. There's a lot to do. That's why I wanted these brothers to stand, because we're going to have to get out there, and we're going to have to mentor, we're going to have to train, we're going to have to help, and if somebody needs food, we got to feed them. We just can't turn them loose and say, God bless you. That's not going to work. It didn't work in the past, and it's sure enough not going to work now. And so contact information. We want to work with you. You are the political the head, and we are spiritual, but we can work together. Let's bind this thing together so that we all can achieve something for our generation. I don't want Jacksonville to go down any further. I don't want us to be arguing and fighting over stupid stuff. I think that if we come together and talk about it, then we can do some things for at-risk teens and families. We're going to have to, even our businesses, I agree with this gentleman, our businesses, oh my God, it's just terrible. Main Street, if I didn't live here, I wouldn't go down there. But you know, what are we gonna do about it? We gotta be about it. And so the hot spots, what places for youth, where are they hanging out at? Where can we go that, where, I don't know where they hang out at, do you know? So we've got to get other teens involved to help us with these kinds of situations. I know some of you are saying, well, I'm not going to do none of that. And you don't have to. That's your prerogative. But I tell you what, if it's like Pastor Miller said, if it ain't at your door today, don't worry, it'll be there tomorrow. And so we want some ideas on how to address these concerns because they need to be addressed. There's going to have to be an increased visibility in our communities, not just for going to church on Sunday and, preaching the word, going home. Baby, we got to do something with this word. We got to get out in these streets, and we have to not only evangelize for the kingdom of God, but we've got to show people by mentorship, by example, what it means to be a Christian. You can talk it all day long, but what are you really doing in the community? I think that community, my church is Emmanuel Covenant Community, because, and I say this to them, if we're not going to work in the community, then we need to take our sign down because we're not achieving what God called us to do here. Community, come unity. Come unity. We have to unify so that we can do something more. If we're going to see Jacksonville grow, I mean, I looked at the stats for Sherwood. Now, Sherwood has pretty good crime stats, and I thought about one time moving to Sherwood, but then I thought about it. No, that's not my place. Okay, what about Cabot? Well, Cabot is really one of the most safest places or cities in Arkansas to live. But what can we do in Jacksonville so that we can begin to have those same stats? What's wrong with us? Why can't we be the most safest city to live in Jacksonville, in Arkansas? Jacksonville, I don't care where you start. It's where you're going. And so as I began to think about these things, we need to meet. We need to plan some times together so that we can help these young people see that gang violence is not the way. Shooting one another, murder is not the way. You're not achieving anything with that. When I think about this 6-year-old that was murdered, now the kids that did that in their 20s, so they're going to spend the rest of their life in jail. You got all of that. All of that is they're done. So now we've lost 4 lives. So what can we do as adults, as people that, because I love children. We have a daycare center. It's a school. I have the Arkansas Better Chance program, have the largest one in Jacksonville, and have had it for 20 years. And so children, I was a pediatric hematology nurse at Children's for quite a while. I worked at St. Jude. I was a nurse manager there. I love children. Pediatrics is my thing. And so if anybody, I have a passion for it. And my passion is to see other people develop the same passion so that we can all make a difference, because every child is mine. Every child is yours. When they succeed, we succeed. When they fail, we fail. And so once we know that, then we understand that our responsibility, our role. And so he said, increase patrols. Yes, we do. We need to, our curfews need to change. Yes, they do. They don't need to be out that late. At midnight, what are they doing? Getting in trouble. Mm-hmm. And so we need to make our parents aware, because we just can't work with the children. We need to work with parents. We need to come to a place of where we say here and no further. And so that understanding, it says community policing. Yes, we need to build relationships with the residents, and we need to understand the problems that plague our community so that we can do something about it. You're not just here because you look good. You're here because you're here to solve a problem. Everybody was born to solve a problem. And so what does that mean? You need to find out that problem that you were born to solve. And so environmental improvements, yes. I would love to see this community with a huge community center that was, that we had basketball, we had all the other, whatever they would like as far as, now don't do what I did. I went out and bought some air hockey tables, and they looked at me like, they were like, we don't play air hockey, no. So Okay, I'm behind. Okay, just help me, Jesus. And so if we could just find a way that we could help them without looking down on them, without making them feel that they're inadequate or that you're less than, because nobody is. Everybody was created fearfully and wonderfully made by God. So we're all the same. All of us want the same. You want what for your children, what I want for mine. There's no difference in that. And so how do we achieve the best for our community? And I know I've gone on along. You don't give a preacher or a pastor a microphone. That's yes, that's true. But I'm sorry. I did go on a little bit long, but I'm very passionate about children, and I'm passionate about Jacksonville. I'm a Southerner by birth, and I will always be a Southerner. I'm not going anywhere, and we've traveled all over the world, but I've always come back to the South. And somebody said, well, where else would you want to live? Here. There's no other place to live for me but in Jacksonville. So we got to get it together. Because like I said, everything rises and falls on leadership. You know, John Maxwell had a story, and I'll tell this and I'll sit myself down. You know, he said that being a leader is like having change in your pocket. And so when you make good decisions, you get to keep your change. But when you make bad decisions, you lose your change. And so now the more bad decisions you make, then the more change you will lose. And one day you'll look up and you won't have any change, and you'll be out of leadership. Thank you.
Again, we want to work with the council. We want your ideas. If we put our ideas together, we can come up with solutions to make this a better city. And that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. Jacksonville was never a place I chose. Jacksonville chose me. And I'm here, and I want to make it the very best it can be. And I thank God for the ministers and pastors who are working so hard to make this happen. But we need you, and people need to know that we're working together. As long as they know we're working together, then it'll make a difference. We have a lot of young people at my church. We have people who work in the public sector. So we have all the tools to attack what's going on, but we got to put it together and make it work. And we can, with all of us coming together. Let's do that and make the city what it should be, so people can say, I want to be there. I want to, I'm not worried about my children anymore. We have to get together and stop talking so much and be busy doing it. We got to get together. So council, again, thank you for allowing us to speak, and we appreciate it. But we're going to start doing some things, and I'm going to be calling on you. So please be receptive to what we're trying to do and work with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pastor Hams, you say, where do we start? Having work with teens and run teen ministry, building trust, meeting them where they are. And that's where we're going to start, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I'd just like to make a comment there. I would love to set up a meeting with y'all and meet with y'all. I could put my other hat on. I'm the high
What
school.
is your other hat?
I'm the high school principal at Jacksonville High School. I can say that Trinika's been up to mentor students. Pastor Carpenter has been up to mentor students. He's actually been in some classrooms as well with another nonprofit organization that was approved by the district. I would love to set up a meeting with you and y'all and start that process of getting you into the school to mentor our students.
Okay, my turn. I teach middle school at the Jacksonville Middle School. Been there, this will be my 10th year going into this next school season. And we have phenomenal mentors, stakeholders, community members that are, they go through the vetting process. They come into our middle school. And I don't know if Coach Mims would argue with me, but the middle school kids, they're a beast. And I mean an absolute beast. And the school itself is challenging. But like Councilmember McCoy said, we meet our scholars where they're at, and we try to do what's best for them. And so we invite somebody, like I said, I know you say you set up a meeting. I know there's someone at our middle school who's already in, and it's just the people that we already have are wonderful, and the more we have, the better. And so thank you all again.
Because to be honest, we're looking. We're constantly looking for mentors because it's hard. and we will reach out. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right. Thank y'all very much. Motion to adjourn?
I know we don't have Kevin come up real
Oh,
quick. Just remind.
sorry.
Kevin.
Kevin. Last.
Just remind us,
Good catch.
new location this year, event, time, details.
Right, new location, Big Bang will be held here at City Hall Saturday night, 5 to 9. Bands, food trucks, everything we've been doing at the range and into Main Street, we're now moving here. Hoping this will be home moving forward. Had some problems with the other location. Had to move from the range when the curtain went up, and then Main Street had problems, so we had to make another move. Our plan is for it to be here moving forward. But yeah, Saturday night, 5 to 9. Fireworks will be right at dark. You'll be able to see them from the lawn here at City Hall.
Where would you encourage residents to park?
Anywhere you can. Community center parking will be open. The only parking lot in this area that'll be shut down will be City Hall, Community Center, Farmers Market. I've talked with Mark Goodsell at Goodsel's Truck. His parking lot's open. Just get here early, and if not, just wherever you can.
Great deal. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it, Kevin. All right, thank you. We're adjourned.